Multifamily investors, this is the perfect video for you. We're gonna be going over everything that is a waste of money for your next investment property. There's a lot of things happening out there. I've been in thousands of multifamily homes and I see it every single day, and I question, why on earth did someone do this to their property? Well, I wanna make sure that you don't do the same thing that some of these past landlords have done, and you can make sure that your next investment property or your current investment property is a successful one. So whether you are a house hacker or you're looking to purchase another property or you already own investment properties, you're gonna wanna listen to everything on this list so you don't waste money on making sure that that investment property is a sound investment for you. Make sure to stick around to the end on this one, because I kid you not, especially the last tip is a complete curveball compared to all the ones beforehand. So you're gonna wanna hear them all. Make sure you stick around to the end. My name's Shawn McEnteer. I am the house hacking realtor and the team leader of the Living in North Jersey real estate team. And I am getting phone calls, texts, emails every single day from people just like you looking to invest, buy, sell in Northern New Jersey. If you wanna hop on a call, feel free to book one below. Make sure you click subscribe so you don't miss a beat on future videos and you stay up to date with everything that's happening in Northern New Jersey. So this is so crucial. There are things that are happening out there that I just do not comprehend why landlords are doing this, but they are. And I just want to make sure that you don't make these mistakes, because I kid you not, putting money into something that does not get a return is something that I don't want to see you do. First on this list that is super crucial is putting a fence on the property. There's very, very little reason why you need to put a fence on an investment property. It's going to do a lot of things, like encourage your tenants to get pets. It's going to say the backyard is a nice place to party and have a good time, need a place to live. There's a reason why you go to a lot of apartment buildings and they don't have fences there, because there's no need for them. You don't need to have that. This is not the forever home for most tenants, although it might be. Having a fence is just a very, very costly item that I would say most of the time you do not want to have. Now look, if your property butts up to maybe like a major highway or something, maybe something a little more dangerous, okay, there could be an exception there. Fence might be beneficial, but most of the time when I've seen properties, there's just no need to incorporate a fence, as if people are gonna say, oh, I'm not gonna buy this place because there's not a fence here. Sorry, I'm gonna move on to the next one. Next on the list here is pools. There is never a reason why you should have a pool on your investment property. It is a major liability. It's a major expense. It is not cheap to maintain. There is just no reason that you should have a pool. Even if you're living on property, I would say, heck no to that. Are you gonna live there for the rest of your life? Make the goal getting to the next property. Make the goal getting to that forever home. I would just strongly encourage to say no to having pools on your investment property. Major, major, major liability that you want to avoid, plus the cost of it is just extremely high. Next is garbage disposal. There is no reason to have a garbage disposal. Make sure people are cleaning up after themselves. They throw their trash into the trash. You don't need to put it down the sink. Garbage disposals create lots of clogs, lots of issues. It's one of those things that you don't want to be getting the headache calls. Your drain is clogged. I need someone to unclog it. Garbage disposals create a lot of issues like that, and you just don't want to encourage your tenants to put as much as they can down the drain. I would say go to the garbage can, not to the drain with your trash. Avoid putting a garbage disposal. Quick, comment below. Do you already own an investment property? If you do, say I own one. If you don't, say I'm looking to buy one. Exterior hangout spots. What I mean by this is something like a patio, a deck. You're probably going to want to avoid this. There's no reason to create this atmosphere that's going to encourage grilling, like barbecuing and everything like that. By all means, I don't say you can't barbecue on my properties, but I don't want to encourage my tenants to do so just because of the liability side of things, grilling, drinking, or whatever it is. I want to discourage things like that because this is an investment property. It's my asset. I want to make sure it's protected. To put a patio in, spend lots of money money, you're not really gonna get the money back on that. You're not gonna get higher rents. People are looking for things like updated kitchen, updated bathroom, living condition in the bedroom. Exterior is not top of the list. You want your property to look good from the outside, but something like a patio is not going to make or break for someone renting your facility. Moving along here, installing carpet. I avoid it, even if it's on the second floor. Doesn't make a difference. It might help with the noise a little bit, but there's plenty of other solutions out there that are just far more economical, like luxury vinyl tile. A lot of them has a cushion, a sound attenuation built into it as well. So you don't necessarily need to put carpet in. Carpet is very, very messy. It builds up, collects dust. It's not easy to maintain. LVT, you can spill on it. You can clean it up easily. It's a lot easier, especially during tenant turnover. Last thing I want to be doing is replacing carpet. And then next people come in and they say, hey, there's a stain on the floor. Who's taking care of that? LVT, you're not going to be running into those problems as frequently. All right, this one's a little bit crazy, but I've seen it a lot of times. It's very frequent. Matter of fact, I have a client right now who just took one out, and that is a bar. I don't know why on earth you would want to put a bar in your multifamily. That's just like saying, let's party, let's have a keg fest here, whatever it is. We don't want that happening. The last thing you want is to have a frat house on your freaking investment property. So I would say avoid the bar, whether it's inside. That's, I kid you not, I've seen bars inside or outside. Moving along here, this one is huge because it's very popular right now. A lot of people are doing it. It's trendy. There's government rebates and all this stuff. But at the end of the day, it's not the best investment for your investment property, and that is solar panels. I would strongly encourage you not to put them in on investment. First things first, your tenants are paying the utility more than likely. So that's a bill on them. They use whatever they consume, they pay for it. Next, when it comes time to replace the roof, solar panels increase the price substantially because the panels must be taken down, roof then gets fixed, panels go back up. So it becomes very expensive to replace a roof. You're gonna have to replace your roof, especially if you're doing a buy and hold property at some point in the lifespan of this house. Whether it's 20 or 30 years later, it doesn't make a difference. It's still expensive. It's gonna be a lot more costly, and you're not necessarily seeing the return on investment having solar panels. I've never had anyone come to me and say, oh, we're not gonna rent this house because there's no solar panels. It's never happens. So it's not like you're giving this amazing benefit that people are just in dire need to have. So I would say no to the solar panels on your next investment property or your existing. All right, here's the last one, and this is the big waste of money that you want to avoid, and that is delaying fixes. Don't be cheap and do not delay. What I mean by that is if there is a problem, take care of it right away, because the problem more than likely will get worse, and worse. For example, I have a deck on the back of one of my rental properties that allows people to go into the back entrance. It is in need of repair. I waited a little bit and it got worse and worse and worse. Then it turned into a bigger problem. I should have fixed it from the start and just made sure it was good to go. Now I did fix it. I spent a little bit more money and it's all good now moving forward. But long story short is if I fixed it right away, it would have been a much better spot for me, and I had to put a little more money into it to get it up to par. Next thing is when you comes time to fix something, don't go cheap. A lot of times people will say, hey, it's my investment. Oh, I'm just gonna go cheap on it. Well, cheap attracts cheap. If you have quality items, you're gonna attract quality, and quality items tend to be more efficient long term. Quality will last. Cheap, it's always more expensive to fix something twice rather than fix it once the first time. So I encourage you, when you have problems that come up, when you see things in your property, do it right the first time, because labor and doing it twice is always going to cost more money. So it might be a little bit more expensive up front, might seem that way, but long term things get really expensive when you don't do it the right way. For more videos like this, make sure to click subscribe so you can be the first to know about everything that's happening in northern New Jersey. And for all you house hackers and multifamily investors out there, this is the perfect place for you.